Everybody has stories about where they grew up. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Some people loved their hometown, and some couldn't wait to leave. Maybe you've heard stories about our town. Maybe they weren't good. These are some of our stories of places that are special to us. Places we feel like we belong.
A lot of the time with Chac, when an important person's coming, one of the main places we end up taking them is West Point, Surf Beach, and Sundown, but it depends. I think it's just because it's kind of a one-stop shop in a lot of ways. Like, you got your bull kelp, so a lot of the time when we go there we'll grab some for kelp baskets and all that jazz. Then you've got, there's middens, a heart depression, stuff like that. So when we had Roger Yench come down, when we first met him, that's where we took him. My first memory of West Point as a whole would have been when I was in grade 6, I think. And it was like before I joined the Aboriginal group at the Smithton High School, which was like the main, place for me. I was part of a different one called Indigenous and Proud, where was focusing on paintings. We did a lot of murals at the front of Smithton Primary, which you can see if you go there still. And one of the first ones we did was at West Point, but we did one of the tallest Aboriginal men to ever exist there, because the tribe, they ate elephant seals a lot and they were very tall. So that's my first memory of coming here. And then after that year I started coming with Chac a fair bit. Along the coast in the northwest, pretty much anywhere you'll find something. And West Point is a really good spot for that, especially for modern day Aboriginal people, because it has everything you might need if you want to teach people and just experience country. I also feel connected, especially at Sundown Point. It's just, I'm connected there. That was my first on-country trip with the high school, and that was another main one that we went to, and it was where I had my first smoking ceremony, which is used to kind of rid of bad spirits, and it's very healing. So I was here with some Chac people and Parks and Wildlife people to Sundown Point, and I had my first smoking ceremony there before we went up to a village site where Aboriginal people had buried their dead. So the bodies would be cremated and then buried in a little pouch under the huts. Because of that, it's really important. Yeah, I think it just speaks to me in a way. For someone such as myself, just being out on country, whether it's West Point, Sundown Point, Rocky Cape, literally anywhere, is just really peaceful and calm, and I'm really happy I get to share it with people.
It's called Old Lighthouse Beach. It means a lot. I love my surfing, loves the waves, just a real surfer boy, as you can probably tell from the hair. Yeah, it's just an amazing spot down here. I know there's middens nearby there, so the Aboriginal heritage down here is amazing, and having Aboriginal blood in myself, it's just so cool to reconnect with you. With generations gone, so it's so cool. Probably my favourite spot in the whole entire world. If I chose to go for a holiday anywhere, I wouldn't even go overseas, I'd come here. Feel the water in your hair and just the smell of the kelp on the beach. It's unreal. I love doing it with people, but I'll just get out and have a bit of a self-time, I guess, and go out and just see the amazing works. It's more just clearing my head, I guess, from all the stress that's probably been going on in normal life, and it's just my place to get away.
Trow Arch is the place that we go for family road trips. If family come down from all over the place and ask for the best tourist place or place to go in Circular Head, we'd take them to Trow Arch. It's just a really nice place to be around people. There's lots of things to see. There's not just one particular place. You can go all around there, and there's all different places. There's tracks and everything that you can go to. It's pretty much just this big place with lots of wildlife. There's a big rainforest area where you walk through, and then when you get there, it's just a big arch formed by fallen caves and a big sinkhole sort of place. Children love it there. So when I was little, we used to go there lots and just play on the caves, play on the rocks, have races and everything through there. So when I was about 6 years old, some cousins came down and we hadn't seen them for about 4 years. And as soon as they got here, they said that they wanted to do anything touristy in Circular Head. So we took them to Trow Arch. And I remember my uncle, as soon as we got there, he said, "This rock looks like the scene out of The Lion King, the big rock." So we reenacted the first scene of The Lion King with him throwing one of my younger siblings up in the air and all of us kids bowing down like animals. There's this one cave with another rock, and it's really dark, and only a couple like younger sort of kids under the age of 10 could fit in there. And so we used to go in there and hide in there. And so every time you go in there, there'd be a small little gap about the size of your hand, and you would drop a rock and you wouldn't hear it splash for ages. It was so deep. There's a track that goes up behind the cave I was talking about, and when you go up there you can see over the arch, so you can see from the sinkhole, you can see down by the viewing points, and you can just pretty much see everything. If there's nothing, then you can hear pretty much everything. You could hear an animal walking from ages away.
First memory at Montague would be when we went there to see if we could get a booking for the next year. We went down on the rocky beach, because there's no beach there, it's just rock. We went down there and we were picking up crabs. I was about 5 or 6 back then, so there's been 3 caretakers since I've been there. Just the different people, like not as many locals, but more tourists. There's a lot more tourists, which is good, but you like to see the local faces. Casey Spinks.
Yeah.
Casey Spinks. Troy Dixon. There's a couple more, but they're the 2 main ones I usually there. Usually stay there for 2 or 3 weeks, then go back into town, have a good shower, get more food, and go back out for another 2 or 3 weeks. Our family's got roots back there, like my nan's great grandparents, like all their ancestors, they lived around Maher or Montague, they settled there, so you do see tourists, but they always fishing where they know there's no rocks.
Yeah.
If you want to catch the fish, you have to cast near the rocks. I've made some mistakes and cast right on rocks and lost a lot of good gear. My family's been doing this for years. Like, we grew up near the ocean. We grew up fishing. Like, it's just something I got taught and I just kept doing it. Yeah, we go out on the boat a lot of times. Yeah, a lot of the time. This year was particularly good for fishing. We got out there a week straight, go 6 o'clock, get back at 12 for about a week straight. So a lot of fish. It's just special if you know the spots there. You don't tell the tourists. It's only the locals that know.
No, I mean, Brady lives up the road from Spine Cop.
No, it's about 5 kilometres. I don't know. And it's like that.
Yeah, there's like an annual thing. We go with a couple of other families when we go to Spine Cop, you know, for Australia.
You can walk around in the bush for a bit.
We used to make houses in the bushes. The whole thing, except the road, is just bush, forest.
Yeah, we haven't
Australia
done
Day breakfast.
we haven't done it last years though.
Just because people are away, COVID, stuff like that.
Sort of the go-to place for a hot day.
Like just in the summer, Brad used to have all these inflatables. My favourite was the unicorn one.
My favourite was the thong, the shoe. Deeper in the winter than the summer.
Yeah, it's much deeper, but I don't know, like, well, obviously everyone was dressed up in their wetsuits unless someone forgot theirs, which was, you know, I wore my mum's like 3 times in a row, but, you know, it was still like fun, or you just wore nothing.
You can go up to like there is like the deepest part from like the first bit.
Well, like, so, you know, there's obviously like the bit where the mums would be like, you know, go, we can see you, and that bit's like from like that deep, and you know, you go on like your boogie boards, but then if you go out a little bit deeper,
It gets real shallow and then it goes deeper.
yeah, and then it gets really deep.
Dip Falls, it's in Banner, so it's a little bit out of town, but it's a really pretty place. You know, since it's the middle of winter, there was lots of water running over it, so it was loud. There's a newly, like, it's not new, but like it's been recently put there, there's like this big staircase thing. It's quite a few steps. There's also, if you cross over the bridge, there's a viewing platform up the top so you can look over the waterfall. It's cool to look over it because like it makes it look a lot bigger and stuff. During the summer there's like there's less water going over, so it's like more still, but like usually it's sunny as well, so it's a little bit warmer and stuff. And then during the winter it's like it was today, like it was more loud and stuff, and there was a lot more water, which looks really cool, like especially from above, like you can see it all rushing down. I think it's cool. I do remember going up there like a few times during my childhood, but like not specific detail, like just, it just feels the same every time, like it's just nice and relaxing to go, and like walking, you know, occasionally falling over. And like it's good, like especially when you don't get out to calm places often, like when you're always busy and stuff, like when you finally get the chance to go to a nice calm place like that's in your local area as well, like it's even better because like you just feel like you can actually switch off and relax even when your life is so busy. Big tree, I remember like when I was younger, like running around it and stuff like that, small things. It looked so much bigger like when you're little as well. I mean, it's still very massive now. But I don't remember it being hollowed out when I was younger. The last time I was at Dip Falls was on a school trip, and like people were going inside the tree. I'm like, how are they doing that? And I was like, oh, it's like hollowed out a bit. I don't remember doing that when I was younger, but I could have. Like just going for like walks and just like, I mean, that's what Jodie and I were doing. Like we were going for walks and stuff. I like going for walks as well. Like it's a good way to clear your head, and like going to like pretty places, that's good as well. Like just good way to clear the air and stuff.
I started photography when I was really young, just playing around on iPads and things, but I got into it seriously around 2017 when I started picking up a DSLR camera, and from there on I've just been playing around for a couple of years to the point where I'm starting up my own business. I grew up in Launceston for 4 years until I moved out to a place called Tamashanta where I lived for 10 years, and then we moved to Circular Head. I like using the walking track as a place to take photos for my clients with my photography business. I think it's a really nice spot to get that nice golden hour and get the nice reads and the beach all in one. I do families and portraits of individuals, couples, maternity shoots, and I haven't done any babies yet, but I've done a few weddings with a local photographer, Kelly Branston, and she's really helped me with my photography and I've gotten a lot of experience from working with her. I've shot there a few times, some with Kelly and some just by myself. I do like track one. It's just got a nice feel to it, and you've got lots of different spots there that you can take away from that make your photos look different every time. You've got reeds and you've got trees and you've got sand and the beach and the water. So it's not just you're taking somebody there and taking the exact same spot every single time, you know, it's just all different every time you shoot. So I do like when you first walk into the track, there's these really nice tussock reeds, and they're nice and browny green, and you can sit people in there and get those real nice intimate shots through the reeds and get those real creative ones. And then I really do like the sand. The sand's a really nice white colour, and so it really looks great when you're editing photos, just having that white pop. It's a really nice relaxing spot, and that's why I like taking my clients there, because it just gives a really nice feel and relaxes people. I really like how it's a private spot as well. You're not out in public, really. You're kind of enclosed in this little nature gap. Yeah. So yeah, it really eases people when it comes to taking photos.
The first thing that springs to mind would have to be just the environment there, as well as the great memories I have from my childhood going to East Inlet. I spent a lot of time there when I was younger and even now still, and a place I feel very comfortable. There isn't one significant memory that comes to mind, but I know especially when I was really little, it was always a place where I would go with my cousins or my granddad and grandma especially, and the rest of my family, and we would just always catch up there, and it was always a place where you could be together with them, and it's just a place that feels good because when I go there, it's that memory. I usually go there when I'm with family, but I find that sometimes I go out there just by myself, and it's really a place where you can just stop and think. It generally depends as to why I'm out there, like when I'm with family or if I'm by myself or even just going for a walk with the dogs or something, but I know that when I'm there, there's that sense of being at home. It's just comfortable. I can just stop and just think and breathe and just be. My family, especially like my grandparents as well, because they live straight across the road from East Inlet, so that's part of why we spend so much time out there. But my family has always been attracted to the beach. Like, I'm very much a water baby. So I've been kayaking and swimming and diving and all those kind of things. It's part of why I love it so much, because it just brings back that sense of home. It's a really beautiful spot, and I'm really lucky to live in Stanley and to be able to be in these environments that make me feel at home and like I belong.